New Zealand has a homelessness crisis. According to Stats NZ, over 100,000 people, or 2.3% of the population, face housing deprivation.
The government has proposed the Move On Bill.
To fixing the basics in law and order and building a future where everyone feels safe and feels safe to visit, work and live in our central cities.
Critics argue it punishes people for a lack of housing.
Crazy that Paul Goldsmith would stand here today and talk about how these move-on orders are about addressing disorderly behaviour when two of the categories that people can be moved on for are simply being homeless and begging.
It also doesn't answer one fundamental question.
The minister realises they don't have a home, right? Where exactly are they supposed to move on? Should they go to your house?
A $2,000 debt on the homeless is a bill that can't be paid. When the fine fails, prison becomes the backup plan. It's the criminalisation of poverty, using our justice system as an expensive storage unit for the vulnerable. Advocates claim that those hardest hit will be Māori, Pasifika and youth under 25.
As young as 14. Where exactly are these kids meant to go? Would you like them to go sleep in a bush? Would you like them to go and sleep under a bridge? They have nowhere to go. They have no parents. They have no responsible adults. And now they will be caught up in the justice system for the rest of their life. It costs $200,000 to put someone in prison for a year. The minister knows that. It is far cheaper to house them, to give them the mental health and drug addiction support that they desperately need.
Agencies on the front lines of homelessness have pointed out that the bill doesn't address increased homelessness and poverty. There is also no funding for emergency housing, refuge beds or addiction services.
Through the cracks, every single system. And the organisations that are there ready to help them are not getting the financial assistance that they need to do so.
The social services in Auckland have been very clear with the government. They have seen increased homelessness as a result of that government's policies.
We consider the context that homelessness has grown to an unprecedented level. It is the worst it has been ever, according to the Wellington City Mission.
Meanwhile, when asked, ministers generally deflect to existing state systems, shifting the responsibility onto the individual in their failure to engage with support rather than a lack of it.
We currently have many tools for those to help those who are in need, including access to one of the most generous welfare systems in the world.
The government set a target to clear emergency motels. On paper, it worked. Numbers dropped from 3,000 down to 500. The MSD leaks revealed the truth. Staff were performance managed for keeping the count low. They didn't provide extra beds or accommodation. They just tightened the screws on who could receive it.
The government decided to restrict the numbers of people who could get access to emergency accommodation, and now we have the City Mission and other social services saying that is why there's more people on the street.
Homelessness has shot up because the government decided to restrict access to emergency housing. Homelessness has gone up because the government has used all of their power and resources to reinstate no-cause evictions and to cancel the building of hundreds, if not thousands, of public homes.
Ultimately, the bill treats the visibility of extreme poverty as a public nuisance that can be legislated away using police powers to draw a curtain over a crisis decades in the making. From years of undersupply in housing and the national government's policy to sell off state housing stock. Both Labor and the Greens have promised to repeal move-on orders if elected in November.